Hi everyone, this is Bagadon, Stock Market Caddy. It's May 14th. May 14th at about 9:45. Just want to give everyone a glimpse of what we are looking at, what we are seeing. This is our proprietary systems running on the TradeStation platform Radar. It's our intellectual property that has developed the coding software and the setup of what you're looking at. This is our strategy, proprietary strategy called the Shark. Stop levels 1 and 2, the weather, the slope rating, the wind direction, the fairway width, and then the individual high probability clubs that help us interpret and help us place our trades. If you look at our tweets, I think we did pretty well. We back on May 8th, we had a video out that said that the Russell and the Nasdaq were setting up for a squeeze. That came in. Yesterday at noon, we reshorted the Russell based on an hourly, and we're staying with that trade. This morning, we went short the ES or the SPYs, and we also went short the YM or the DIA. As you can see here, this is the YM on a 1 hour basis. We got a siren call. And just if you had watched the TPC over the weekend as Jim Furyk was getting up to hit his last putt of the day, the siren call went off and they said there's thunder, there's lightning in the area, you need to take cover. And so we are exploiting that, and other people are too, because if you come to the volatility index, you can see that this we're getting a sunny mode here, and we're moving into a flat position. When we transition, we go from short to flat, then on to long, or vice versa. And the volatility index is a contrarian indicator, in that if this moves south in the markets is for real, we're going to see the volatility index turn green. So we're seeing the weather, the sun come out on the volatility, which is good for us bears. The wind direction's getting a little green here. So folks are hearing some thunder, hearing some rumbling, and they're buying some protection. And that is confirming our short signal on a 1 hour basis, and on the Russell as well. We did make the call last week. I think it was a pretty good call that again the Russell and the Qs were going to get squeezed. We think that's all that was. It was a rather anemic bounce. And here's the siren on the Dow. Now we also are expecting to keep the short on the daily on the ES. We're moving into a flat. We think this 1 hour is set up to graduate into a short on the daily, and the same thing on the risk reward for the YM, the daily. And I keep saying YM or ES. These are futures contracts. For those of you trading in the ETFs, this ES would be the SPY, and the YM would be the DIA. The stop level, if you're trying to stretch this out for a daily type swing trade, and it could stretch out to be more. It could last for a few weeks. One never really knows. But the stop level is any close on a daily basis above yesterday's high on the SPY or the diamonds. One would need to close their short to minimize their loss. So that's what we're seeing. And let's just scroll back. And so we'll just kind of let this populate. This is happening real time to us. By the time this is uploaded, it'll be a little late. But you can see the short signals, and you can see this. She's struggling. We're getting the markings of a double top here on the 240. So this thing is migrating. It's growing legs. She's flashing. She's transitioning. She had been green. She's going flat. And you can see here, this is for us bears. Headwinds are good. And this is also a good color. Magenta TFS means a move down. Here we're getting a move down in the slope rating. That would even be on a weekly basis. So everything is looking good. Here's a siren call on the weekly on the TF. So for those of you that are looking to short, some good opportunities. For those of you that are long, real good opportunity here to get your protections on. Good luck, and be in touch. All one can do is control their losses. By the way, folks, we did a little video the other day talking about the markets as a river, a flowing river. We're big fans of Jim Rickards, who's written a couple of books on the currency wars. He actually mentioned that. He talked about the markets being like fluid dynamics and like a river. And he said, how difficult it is to gauge the depth of the river, the speed of the water. And that's basically what we're trying to do with our system here at a glance, as opposed to looking at a whole one chart after another. It's so easy to get vertigo. For us, it's much easier just to watch our system here and trade accordingly. We don't need to even look at a chart. Our charts are right here on all these multiple time frames and on all these different markets, because they're all doing basically, all of these systems work the same on whatever market, and we also, when we trade, yes, we're trying to gauge the depth of the river, the speed of the river, the turn, the direction. What we're not doing, and I hope you're not one of those traders trying to, time the great flood. Every once in a while that river will, flow over her banks, and it may be a short-lived flood. It may be something even, bigger. But we're not looking to trade that. That's not something that we're trying to time, as the great flood. What do they say? You drive for show, putt for dough. There are some great guys that can hit, you see those guys hitting the golf ball, 500 yards, but they can't play the game of golf. So, we do this day in and day out. Are we going to be here? Will we see the great flood when it comes? Absolutely. It's impossible for it to get by us. But are we looking for it day in, day out, week in, week out? No, no, no. We're just executing trades day in and day out. That's how that works. So I hope that helps, and good luck.